Elon Musk's Starlink has been a topic of discussion lately, with some people expressing concerns about its potential dangers to the world. The Starlink project aims to provide high-speed internet access to remote areas using a network of satellites. While this may seem like a noble cause, some experts believe that it could have negative consequences for the environment and human health. One of the main concerns about Starlink is the impact it could have on the night sky. The project involves launching thousands of satellites into orbit, which could create a significant amount of light pollution. This could have serious consequences for astronomers and stargazers, who rely on a clear and dark sky to observe the universe. Additionally, the satellites could interfere with radio astronomy, which could have implications for our understanding of the cosmos. Another concern about Starlink is the potential health risks associated with exposure to electromagnetic radiation. The satellites emit radio waves, which could have negative effects on human health. While the levels of radiation emitted by the satellites are relatively low, some experts believe that prolonged exposure could have long-term consequences. This is particularly concerning given the fact that the satellites will be in orbit for many years, potentially exposing people to radiation for extended periods of time. The Hubble Space Telescope, renowned for capturing breathtaking images of the universe and pushing the boundaries of astronomy, faces a grave threat. The tranquility of its observations is being disrupted by the intrusion of numerous satellites launched by private companies. These satellites leave behind luminous streaks and curves of light that prove to be exceedingly difficult to eliminate. Regrettably, this predicament is exacerbating with time. A recent study, published in the esteemed journal Nature Astronomy on Thursday, sheds light on the escalating percentage of Hubble's images that are marred by the passage of satellites. It is important to note that this data only extends until 2021. Since then, SpaceX and other companies have launched thousands more satellites, with numerous additional launches anticipated in the coming years. Consequently, the Hubble's functionality is compromised, and the impact may extend to other telescopes in space. Jonathan McDowell, an esteemed astronomer from the Harvard-Smithsonian Center for Astrophysics, who was not involved in the study, expressed his concerns, stating, "We must come to terms with this predicament, as it will undoubtedly affect the field of astronomy. There will be scientific endeavors that become unattainable, and others that will incur significantly higher costs. Regrettably, there will be discoveries that elude us." Following the launch of its first batch of Starlink satellites in May 2019, SpaceX faced criticism from astronomers who were worried about the impact of the satellites on their ability to observe the universe from telescopes on Earth. In response, Elon Musk suggested that telescopes be moved to orbit, but this solution is not feasible for current telescopes or spacecraft. The interference caused by satellite constellations is a significant issue that will need to be addressed in the future. According to NASA, the recent study on satellite trails indicates that although there may be a gradual increase in the number of detected streaks over time, most of these streaks can be easily removed using standard data reduction techniques. Therefore, the majority of affected images are still usable, and the science efficiency and data analysis of the Hubble telescope are not significantly compromised. NASA's spokeswoman emphasized that satellite streaks do not currently pose a significant threat to the telescope's operations. However, the threat of satellite interference becomes more pronounced when the Hubble telescope surveys a large portion of the sky. In such cases, it may only take one or two images before the telescope needs to redirect its camera. If a satellite happens to pass through the field of view during one of these crucial images, the affected image might have to be discarded, potentially impacting the scientific observations. Furthermore, the presence of satellites in orbit could pose a serious threat to telescopes that have not yet been launched. China's upcoming Xuantian, also known as the Chinese Survey Space Telescope, is scheduled to be launched into low Earth orbit by the end of this year. Xuantian will have a larger field of view compared to the Hubble telescope, making it more challenging for satellites to go unnoticed. This highlights the importance of developing strategies to mitigate satellite interference and ensure the successful operation of future telescopes. In conclusion, while Elon Musk's Starlink project may seem like a step forward in terms of providing internet access to remote areas, it is important to consider the potential risks and consequences. The impact on the night sky and the potential health risks associated with exposure to electromagnetic radiation are serious concerns that need to be addressed. As such, it is important to carefully evaluate the project and its potential impact on the world as a whole.